The vast majority of the chronic pain problems that I see in clinical practice are complex and multifaceted in nature. And I often explain chronic pain in terms of a cycle of events taking place within the body. And there are multiple factors that feed into and perpetuate that cycle. Now, sometimes when chronic pain sufferers hear this information, they sort of freak out. They become very overwhelmed, thinking that, oh no, now I need to solve for this problem and that problem and this problem and that problem over there too. And I've actually found that that's not the case. See, you don't have to solve every aspect of a chronic pain cycle in order to get that person out of chronic pain. All you really need to do is sufficiently disrupt or remove enough of the factors that are contributing to that cycle in order to break the cycle. And that's what we're talking about today. One of the most important and significant things that a chronic pain sufferer can do to break their pain cycle. Let's get into this. The factor that we're talking about today is something that you should be spending about a third of your life doing, which is getting really high quality sleep. Now, unfortunately, it's estimated that somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of older adults struggle with insomnia on an ongoing basis. And the reason that this is so important for pain sufferers in particular is because research has established a clear and direct relationship between sleep problems and chronic pain. And what's really interesting about this relationship is that it's a two-way street. See, it's really clear to most people how being in pain could lead to poor quality sleep, but what's not as obvious for most people is how poor quality sleep directly leads to more pain.
Lots and lots of studies have examined the relationship between sleep problems and chronic pain, and the data from these studies can provide us with some really important insight on the subject. So take a look at this study from 2015 published in the journal Pain. These researchers discovered that there were 3 specific sleep-related factors that directly influence a person's pain sensitivity. And they are how bad a person's insomnia is and how often they experience it. In other words, how many times they wake up during the night. Sleep onset latency, which is how quickly a person falls asleep when they get to bed at night, and sleep efficiency, which is the percentage of time that a person spends asleep when they're in bed during the night. Now, these researchers found that when any of those 3 factors get worse, pain gets worse. The conclusion from this big study was that sleep problems significantly increase the risk for reduced pain tolerance. This massive study, also published in the journal Pain, found a clear pattern of increased pain levels following 1 night of bad sleep. These researchers looked at over 5,400 observations in 971 different subjects and found that when the amount of sleep that a person got dropped below 6 hours, pain levels went up. The conclusion from this study was that hours of sleep reported on the previous night was a highly significant predictor of the current day's pain frequency. And this paper from 2019 that was published in the journal Neuroscience was truly remarkable. These researchers took 25 healthy subjects and they put them into 2 very different sleep environments. First, they slept 8 hours continuously through the night. Then they were given brain scans while being exposed to painful stimuli. And the researchers were looking to see how the brain responded to painful stimuli after getting a good night's sleep. They then took the exact same subjects and they deprived them of sleep for 24 to 28 hours. And then they gave them another round of brain scans while exposing them to painful stimuli. Here's what the researchers found. They found that 1 night of bad sleep absolutely changes the way that people perceive pain. Specifically, it lowers the pain threshold, meaning it takes less stimulus to induce that big pain response. And this happens because of heightened activity in the somatosensory cortex, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for interpreting pain signals. But there was one other really interesting thing that they found. They found that 2 areas of the brain that are responsible for dampening pain signals had a massive drop in activity. Activity in these 2 regions was dropped by 60 to 90%. So we're perceiving more pain and we're able to block less pain neurologically after even 1 night of bad sleep. The conclusion from this study was that lack of sleep makes the body less resilient and that people who suffer from pain often can be aided by improving their sleep.
One of the big reasons why sleep problems are so common nowadays is because of the amount of time we spend staring at electronic devices like this one. These things pump out light signals into your eyes that go directly to the part of your brain that tells your body when to be awake and when to be asleep. And the more time you spend staring at those light signals, the more wake-up signals you're getting. And you better believe that that adds up over time, and it directly interferes with your ability to fall asleep at night when you're supposed to and stay asleep throughout the night. And so one of the easiest things that you can do if you're suffering with chronic pain is to cut off all screen time 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep at night. Don't believe me? Try it for 1 to 2 weeks and see what happens. While getting away from all light-emitting devices in that critical window before you go to bed is the ideal option, I'm fully aware that not everyone is willing or able to set their device down for that period of time. So I want to give you a few other options to work with. First, if you're going to be working on a computer, there is a program called Flux that I strongly recommend that you download. It's completely free, and what it does is it auto-regulates the temperature of light emitted from your screen to match the ambient light in your time zone. It's available for both Macs and PCs, and I'm going to put a link for that in the description down below. Second, there is a setting on iPhones that allows you to auto-regulate the light that's being emitted by your device. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. Accessing what Apple calls their night shift mode on the iPhone is super simple. All you need to do is click on the settings icon, which is that little gray gear or wheel, and then scroll down until you see display and brightness. Click on that, scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see night shift. Click there, and then you can turn night shift on manually by clicking that button, and then you can use this little cursor to make it as warm as possible. Now when I go back to my main screen, hopefully you can see how much more orange and warm the color that's coming out of that screen is and how much less blue and green are coming out of it. What's neat about this feature is that you can actually schedule it to come on according to what time of day, so say 3 hours before you go to sleep at night, and it will automatically downregulate the amount of wake-up signals that are coming out of your phone into your eyes and up to your brain. And then one final option for those of you who are going to be using electronic devices in that critical 2 to 3 hours prior to going to bed, and those devices don't have the type of built-in light regulation features that we were just talking about, is to add a layer of protection all on your own using blue blocking glasses. A systematic review from 2021 that covered 24 different papers on the subject found that this type of eyewear is absolutely effective for inducing sleep. But the key to getting the benefits from blue blocking glasses is to make sure that you're using the right equipment, which is why I use this model from Safety Blue. Now, if you look closely here, you can see that these glasses have a built-in adjustable gasket that actually seal the lenses all the way against your face and prevent any blue or green light from sneaking in around the edges and sending those wake-up signals to your brain. This is an inexpensive, easy, and proven method for improving your sleep every single night. Right now, Safety Blue, manufacturers of some of the highest quality blue blocking glasses on the market, has an exclusive offer just for members of the Pain Fix Protocol community where you can save 25% on any of their bundle options that include both red and amber glasses, allowing you to block out those disruptive light signals no matter what you're doing in those critical few hours before going to sleep at night. To take advantage of this special offer, click the link in the upper right-hand corner of your screen or the one in the description down below. That's all for this week. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.